Okay, here we are, the first edition of Joseph Napolitano's Italian-American Kitchen and Political Commentary. So, the commentary, the inner space in the sandwich making. The first thing, you have to have some good bread, right? So I get this at Central Market in Austin. It's good bread. Take it, cut it, right? If you don't cut it, you can't put the meat in it, right? Then you don't have a sandwich. You get something else. I don't know what that. So. Oh, I forgot to give my warning. If you're offended by foul language and strong political opinions, turn the fucking thing off now. Alright? And I don't want to hear no shit and no commentary on my commentary. And no hijacking my site. Alright? You're going to post pictures of your own dogs, put them up on your own picture. So the first thing you do, you take the bottoms. You sprinkle a little olive oil on it. Just a little bit, not too much. There's more to come later. A little bit here, a little bit there. They're all the same. It doesn't really matter. So, then the first meat that we put on is we're going to put on gabagool. Now, when you go to the grocery store here in Austin, you have to say capicola. Because if you say gabagool or gabagool, they don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So put our gabagool on. Do that. Here it is right here. And where I grew up, we would call this fatty gabagool because you got a lot of fat on it. And when you put the meat on, you have to kind of fold the meat on. You can't just pile it up, right? It doesn't want to fold very good, but that's what you got to do. You got to kind of fold it a little bit, get a little shape to it. It's going to be a long process, so I'm going to talk a little bit. A lot of stuff put on the news lately. What do you think of that Trump guy, huh? I think he's a fucking asshole, me, but I don't know. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But, you see that thing that happened? They beat up that black guy for saying Black Lives Matter, his supporters. If he comes to Austin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go. I'm going to go buy a ticket. I'm going to go see Trump. I'm going to start screaming out, White Lives Matter, White Lives Matter. And I'm going to see if they beat me up, too. That's what I'm going to see. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. The other thing, he's a lunatic. You know, it's funny. He bankrupts all those businesses. All those people lose their jobs in Atlantic City. Right? And I don't live up there no more. I live down here. But you know, there's people just like me working in those casinos. And they lose their jobs. Meanwhile, he keeps his money. And the world keeps spinning around. Huh? How you like that? I don't think much of that me. So now, you know, I'm almost done with the gabagool. And as you can see, maybe, I don't know, there's a dog head over there by me. That's Miko. Miko wants some of this. He's not getting it. Put a little Parmesan cheese on. Like that. And there we go. Now, there's some choices here to make. For me, I like putting the prosciutto on now. Now, if you go to the grocery store, they say prosciutto. We grew up saying prosciutto. This is 18 months old. It's very good. The pig gave it to us. We're thankful to the pig. It's very good. It's very salty. And it's Italian. A little bit about myself. You know, I grew up outside New York City. Mixed race, working class neighborhood called Greenburgh. When I was a kid, I worked. Right? I sold newspapers. You know, you delivered them to people's houses. I worked in a drugstore for a while. I worked in a delicatessen, Varvaro's. It's still there. Now, when I worked at Varvaro's, they made sandwiches. That's where I learned how to make sandwiches, was at Varvaro's. Now, I'm not going to whitewash history here. I was not always a very good employee. But we're not going to get into all those details right now. I worked at Varvaro's, and I kind of learned how to make sandwiches, and I learned how to work, you know. One day, I was sweeping the floor, and Frankie comes over to me, and he says, "Come here, I want to show you something." So he brings me over to the back corner by the deli case, and there's a potato chip rack. And he says, "You know, Joey, I can hire anybody to sweep in the middle of the floor. But it takes a special employee to sweep under the potato chip rack." Now, you might think, how many fucking potato chip racks are going to be in my next job, right? But it was a good lesson. Because what he was telling me was that if I didn't sweep the fucking floor the way he wanted, I wasn't going to have a job no more. And that's been pretty much true most of my life, right? I've had a little business here or there of my own, but it never worked out. So if I wanted to make any money, I usually had to work for somebody else, right? And, when you work for somebody else, you got to do what they ask you to do. So that's what Frankie taught me how to do. So that was a little mixed race neighborhood. And it was a little different than most neighborhoods. But it was about the same too, It is what it was. It was what it was. It's going to be a long video. I might run out of shit to say. Although, if you know me, you would think that would be a first, that I run out of shit to say. See, they cut the meat thin, and it sticks to the fucking paste. If you want it cut thin, but sometimes they go a little overboard. They cut it like fucking tissue paper. I tell them not to, but they don't always listen. But she's good, this woman, to cut the meat for me today. I like her. She's very nice. So, in the background, we have little Steven Van Zant's Underground Garage playing. Now, little Stevie, his mom and dad were Italian, but she remarried, and that's where the Van Zant came from. So, I was going to listen to Frank Sinatra, but something's fucked up on Sirius, and we couldn't get it. So, back to Trump, huh? What do you think? What do you think he wants to put little labels on Muslims? Huh? People must like it. I mean, they go crazy for him, but it's really messed up, I mean, they used to put pink, lavender stars on gay people. They used to put red stars on communists. They used to put yellow stars, which are more famous, on Jewish people. Now, those were the Nazis. That was Hitler. So it makes you wonder about this guy. You know what I mean? That's what Hitler did. Not like we were all that much better. You know what I mean? We interned the Japanese. We relocated Italians. A lot of people don't know that. In this country, during the war, Italians got relocated. So they didn't get put in camps like the Japanese. I'm not trying to say that. But they got relocated. And it was horrible for people. So, if you're Italian, remember that when you vote for, these warmongers. They're no friends of ours. It brings me up something to say is, I lived in New Orleans for a long time. Made some good food down there, boy. Make a muffaletta. But anyway, the biggest mass lynching in American history, on American soil, and there were bigger ones, Native Americans out west, but they weren't on American soil at the time, was Italians in New Orleans. So you think these people are your friends, you've got another thing coming. Up until the end of World War II, the Klan lynched Italian people. Just east of Baton Rouge Parish. Hung them up with trees and lynched them. Okay, so now we put a little olive oil on. You gotta be careful with the olive oil. Because you don't put too much, it makes a big fucking mess when you eat it. Here we go. Now me, I vote every presidential cycle. I vote most regular cycles, right? Because that's what you're supposed to do. And if you don't have a vote, you don't really, you can't complain too much. This is salami. It's very good. It's a calabrese salami made by these people called Commentaery. Look at it. You can see? It's very good. Which I don't eat it all. Then you spread this out. And this you have to lay flat. You spread it out. Me, so I vote. I don't always think it does much good. I voted for Barack Obama twice. It always makes me laugh. People say, well, they were disappointed in President Obama. And you're only disappointed if you didn't know who he was. And who he is a slightly left of center Democrat. That's what he is. If you think you're going to get much more out of him than you got, you're crazy. And he's done some really good things. Affordable Care Act, lesbian and gay rights, marriage, that stuff. He's done some decent foreign policy things, although some people would agree. But basically, came out against the pipeline late. Could have come out earlier. He's bombing the shit out of people. You know, it's interesting. We talked about there was a drone attack, and you think it's like one of those cute little drones that people fly around town with the little camera underneath. What are those cameras called? GoPros. It's fucking for drones. They're like as big as a jet plane. They fire big fucking bombs and they drop them on people. Sometimes the wrong people. And they wonder why everybody hates us. You know, if somebody was flying a drone over my house and it landed and it killed my wife and my dogs, I wouldn't look at them too friendly. Now, I'm not going to say here on video what I would do because they might come knocking on my door then. But you would hear about it, I'll tell you that. So, you know, I don't think we always are best friends. With me, get a sign in my yard. I haven't done much work for him. I donate money. I'm a Bernie guy. Bernie Sanders. That's right. He's kind of a weak socialist. You know, that's what democratic socialist is. It's a weak socialist. Because that says he's letting all these motherfuckers that got a shitload of money keep it. Most of it anyway. See, what I say is take their fucking money. Right? Nationalize the banks. Nationalize the oil companies. Nationalize the pharmaceutical companies. Single payer insurance for everybody. I don't give a shit if it costs more money. You know? My job pays for my health insurance. Now, wait, before I wear my big mouth anymore. This is mortadella with pistachios. This is very good. Watch. Mmm. 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 It's like bologna, but better. So, look at this too thin too. I'm gonna make enough. Make sure I got enough to cover everything. So we're gonna spread it out a little bit. If we have extra, we'll come back. But that's what Bernie, democratic socialism, you know? That's what Bernie is. That's kind of a weak socialist. But he's a strong candidate, and he's consistent. He's been saying the same things since he was in school in Chicago. And, you know, he's got Big Mike, the rapper. He's got his endorsement. Hillary, she can pay off the unions. She can do what she wants. She can get these big union endorsements. You can't measure what's going on with Bernie. Because you got a lot of people out the street. And, you know, the prevailing thought in America is you have to have a lot of money for TV to win elections. You know who wins elections? It's a good ground game. That's right. A good get out the vote ground game. And I've been involved in some campaigns. You know, some in New Orleans, some other places. You know what we would do? And I'm not going to tell you what we used to do, because I might get in trouble. But, nevertheless, we won some elections, too. That's right. We won some things in front of city councils, different places. But it's hard, you know, it's hard to win, because these fuckers, they don't ever give up. Now, you think about Flint, Michigan, right? Flint, Michigan, the automobile plant there, was the first sit-down strike in UAW history. It took them almost 50 years. 50 years. The corporations, the big auto manufacturers, they fucking bankrupted Flint. Flint doesn't even have a fucking movie theater. Okay, now it comes a little touchy. Can we put a little salt and pepper? But that's why all that happened in Flint. It's because that was where the first sit-down strike was. And they don't care. Every once in a while I look at the mom stuff because I'm vain. And now we get the provolone. This is good provolone. This is from Italy. It's the real thing. And again, I gotta make sure I got enough. I'm gonna spread it out. This is Joseph's Italian-American kitchen. This is how I talk when I cook. I talk like this. I think my wife thinks I'm crazy sometimes. But, you know, she's amused to. What are you gonna say? But you had a lot of heart she got, my Connie. She married me. There's one. There's two. Now, what do you think? Huh? I think they're pretty fucking good, me. Everybody always likes it when I do the pictures, you know, with the camera. So I thought I'd do a video. And this is it, you know. I gotta say though, I'm for Bernie. If you're for Bernie, call me up. We'll talk. Sign a petition. Vote. Make some phone calls. Give him some goddamn money. I know most of you motherfuckers got some extra money. So give it to Bernie. Now, I don't know how to turn this off remotely, so I'm going to wipe my hands on my shirt, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to turn it off. This is Joseph Napolitano. That's me, right there. This is Joseph Napolitano telling you, eat good food. Vote for Bernie Sanders. Fuck Donald Trump. Bye.